And I'm back with another Front Row Talk podcast, the podcast with expensive opinions. Before I get started, make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, you share this video. Make sure you check the description down below where I have my link and the link for my Instagram and TikTok. I post a clip of each and every episode on my TikTok. This is episode 90. 90 episodes in, as you can see. Came faster than I thought. We're 10 episodes away from 100 episodes. Um, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't think I was gonna get to 100 episodes, cause I kind of don't have no stopping to this, or that's my what my mindset is at. But like I said, it came faster than I thought. Um, but yeah, make sure you tune into last week's episode 89, where I gave my um predictions for Week 14 of the NFL, and I talked about Juan Soto, who is now a New York Yankee. And yeah, let's get started with this episode. As you can see by the title, this episode, I'm gonna give my Week 15 predictions. We're 15 weeks in, 3 more weeks left for the regular season and the NFL to finish, and then we'll go into playoffs. Um, I think I said week 13 was a pretty crazy week, but week 14 was crazier. Um, it had a bunch of good games, a bunch of I feel like it probably had some of the best games of the season so far, and I feel like that's the good thing about the NFL, that anything is possible any week. Um, it's like so much can happen in a game. With that being said, I'm clearly talking about the Rams and Ravens game. Um, if you haven't seen that game, just go watch the highlights. It was really crazy, and then the Titans pulled a crazy comeback, and then the refs kind of decided who won on the Bills and Chiefs game, which is kind of crazy. And I'm not blaming the refs. I feel like they made the right call, but it's just the time that they made the call was just like such a crucial part of the game, because it literally decided whether the Chiefs won or lost. But yeah, last week was pretty crazy. Let's see what this week has in store. But to start with this week's predictions, in about an hour or so, the Chargers and Raiders play each other. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I think the Chargers is gonna beat the Raiders. Then moving on to the Vikings and Bengals, which is actually Saturday. It's three games this week on Saturday, which is I feel like it's like that every season. There's a week that there's a couple games on Saturday. But yeah, Saturday, December 16th, you have Vikings and Bengals. I'm gonna honestly go with the Bengals. I think the Bengals are gonna beat the Vikings. Then moving on, you got Steelers and Colts. That should be an interesting game. I'm gonna pick the Colts though. I need the Steelers to lose. I don't need them to come any close to us. Since we're in the same division. Then you got the Broncos and Lions. I think the Lions is gonna beat the Broncos. That should be a pretty good game though as well. Broncos turned it up. Just about like 6 or 7 episodes ago, I was talking bad on the Broncos because they were showing bad. They wasn't really doing much, and they really started, you know, picking up the pace, and I think they still have hopes for a playoff spot. But I think the Lions is gonna beat the Broncos. Then Sunday, you have Giants and Saints. Um, I'm gonna go with the Giants just cause DeVito. There's a lot of people talking. A lot of people out there talking that DeVito should be the quarterback for the Giants. A lot of people, I wouldn't say they're forgetting about Daniel Jones, but the fact that DeVito has won the last 3 games he started, I mean, it's a good look for himself, for the Giants. Because a lot of people like to say that the Giants O line isn't all that or whatever, but this is the same O line that you know Danny Dimes is playing with, and DeVito's doing his thing. Also, a lot of people having fun with the fact that he's Italian and he's Asian and this, that, and the third. But he's been playing pretty good. I've spoke to some Giants fans personally at work, and they're I wouldn't say they're all in for DeVito, but they're sold so far from what they've seen. And yeah, so I think the Giants will beat the Saints though. Genuinely, I think they'll beat the Saints. Let me see who's home for that game. So Giants isn't Saints home, but I still think that they could beat them. If Giants win, that'll make them 6-8, and then that'll make the Saints 6-8 as well. So they'll have the same record, but that should be it should be a pretty good game just because of the whole script and the whole attention that comes behind DeVito now, and yeah. Now moving on, you got the Bears and the Browns. I would love the Bears to beat the Browns, but I think the Browns is gonna beat the Bears. Um, I don't want the Browns to win. I mean, like I said, they're in our division. Anybody in our division, I need them to lose. Even though I picked the Bengals over Vikings, because I just genuinely think the Bengals is gonna win. But I also think that the Browns will beat the Bears. I would like the Bears to beat the Browns though. And then you got Falcons and Panthers. It's a game that I don't really care too much about. I'm gonna go with the Falcons. Then you got the Buccaneers and the Buccaneers and Packers. I'm gonna go with the Packers. I think they'll beat the Bucks. Then you got the Jets and the Dolphins. Now the Jets just beat Houston, and I did not expect that because Houston's quarterback was really on a roll, but I think he got injured. I think it was like a concussion or something like that. But they beat the they beat Houston, and now they're going up against the Dolphins. But I have the Dolphins beating the Jets. Honestly, Dolphins defense is too good, even though they just choked crazy against the Titans. Like I said, for those who didn't watch the game, just watch the highlight because that comeback was crazy. But I got Dolphins over Jets. Long story short, you got Chiefs and Patriots. I got Chiefs. That's not even gonna think about that twice. Then you got the Texans and Titans. I'm gonna go with the Titans. I think the Titans will beat the Texans. And then you got 49ers and Cardinals. I got 49ers. You got Commanders and Rams. I got the Rams. You got Cowboys and Bills. This should be really interesting. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are on a hot streak. I mean, Dak Prescott is really turning it up. But if Bills beat the Cowboys, I feel like it's more of a statement game. Because right now the Bills have a record of 7-6. It's nowhere near, how it's supposed to be. They're only positive. They're above 500, just by one game. But I feel like if the Bills beat the Cowboys, that'll make the Cowboys 10-4. That'll make the Bills 8-6. Still not much of a great record, but it will let people know that they just beat the Chiefs. Then they're beating the Cowboys. They're beating good teams with good quarterbacks. So I got the Cowboys though. I think the Cowboys is gonna beat the Bills. Then you got the Ravens and the Jaguars. You got my team against the Jaguars. Now the Jaguars got my second favorite quarterback. I've said this plenty of times. But I don't think Trevor Lawrence is active. Let me see. I still got us even if Trevor Lawrence is active or not. Let me see. Okay, so it says that he's set full for practice. So Trevor Lawrence might play if I'm not mistaken. That should be a good game though because the Jaguars themselves have a good record. They're 8-5. But I got us winning. That if we win, we'll be 11-3. Be a great record. I don't know if that'll clinch a playoff spot for us, but it probably should. We're kind of in that range already, record wise, where we could clinch a playoff spot. As early as week 15. But I got us over the Jaguars. I mean, what can I say about us? Like I said, we won. It was crazy the way we won last week. Yeah, Lamar, in my eyes, had probably the best game of the season so far. He had like 300 and something yards, about like three or four touchdowns. He did have an interception. He did throw a pick, but other than that, I mean, he was playing really good, and I feel like he'll play good against the Jaguars as well. Then on Monday, December 18th, you got the Eagles and Seahawks. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. If the Eagles win, that'll make them 11-3 as well. And then yeah, that's really it for this week. For this week of NFL, got a couple good games. I mean, if Trevor is playing, you got the Ravens and Jaguars is a good game. Cowboys and Bills is a good game as well. What else? Yeah, I mean, of course, any game could be a good game. Like I said, it's the NFL, but from what I'm seeing, like competition wise, I feel like those is the best. And then Texans and Titans might be a good game as well. But every other game, I don't know. Yeah. Um. Now moving on to the NBA. I don't really have anything specific to talk about the NBA, but I have a lot of things to talk about if that makes sense. I feel like there's so much going on in the NBA. So far this season's been filled with a lot. I mean, it's a season that's bringing a new tournament for the first time, in season tournament. Last time I talked about it, I was explaining the last 8 teams, if I'm not mistaken, and now the Lakers won. I mean, they won about a week ago or something like that. Um, Congrats to the Lakers for any Lakers fans. I'm not gonna be here and say, oh, the tournament didn't mean much to me, because I honestly it really didn't. Just because it's the first season, I never really understood it until, of course, a couple games were in play, but the fact that the Lakers won, I mean, it shows how good they are against whoever they go up against. But I don't think that you know Laker fans should be. I, Damn, I don't want to sound salty, but I don't know. It's just clearly it's not the end goal. I feel like it's something that whatever happened, cool, but you still gotta lock in. I mean, the money was good, even though they got taxed crazy. But yeah, the Lakers are the winners of the in-season tournament. I don't think I had them winning when it came down to the prediction. I think I had the Suns or the Celtics or something like that. What else has been going on in the NBA? The Detroit Pistons are on a 21 game losing streak. That's ridiculous. I don't know if that's like the biggest losing streak ever. I don't think it is. Um, but it's pretty crazy though, cause it's a team with a lot of young talent, and the fact that we're in the NBA nowadays, that any team could beat any team. I mean, we've been in that NBA for a couple of years now, but the fact that they've lost 21 straight is kind of. I mean, I can only imagine how it is for the fans, for the players. Draining, annoying. It's a lot to deal with. Of course, at this point they're just trying to get a dub, a win, and then just get that out the media. Because now every game that they lose, of course, is added on to the losing streak, and it's just more and more for the media to feed on. But yeah, what else is going on? I'm gonna get to the Warriors. I'm not gonna act like I don't know about the Warriors, but just last night, Giannis scored 64 points. I mean, he was six points off of 70 points, ridiculous against the Pacers. The Pacers was the team that the Lakers beat in the in-season tournament for the finals of the in-season tournament. Shout out Halliburton. He's really, putting his name on the map. I think this is the year that everybody's looking at him and they're applauding him or they're giving him his respect. Um, and yeah, I mean, he's doing really, really good. But Giannis scored 64, and at the end of the game, he was looking for the game ball, and he was running all over the place. He went into the tunnel, onto the Pacers side of the tunnel, looking for the game ball. Because if you just scored 64 points, you would like the game ball. I mean, that makes sense. But supposedly, the Pacers had a rookie who scored his first NBA points, so they gave him the game ball. And then Giannis felt like entitled for having a game ball because he scored 64 points, and I don't blame him because I mean I don't know if that's his career high. It probably is, but if it's not, I mean it's still 64 points. I mean it's a lot. So I don't blame him, but it's just the NBA has been filled with so much. Um, so then he ended up saying that he don't think that that's the game ball. It kind of became silly at some point, because like they made all of that just for a ball. So he was saying this is not the game ball, whatever. It was a lot going on. And then moving on to the Warriors. Um, I mean, what can I say? It's all in the media. Me as a Warriors fan, I'm pretty annoyed just because of the fact that Draymond is now suspended and he has no return date. I mean, it's until the league says so. says so basically. Man, of course it affects us a lot because he's probably the best or one of the our best defenders. And yeah, I mean, now Curry has to play without his playmaker, without the guy who sets his picks, who finds him or whatever. But not only that, though, the fact that, we've been struggling and losing a lot, even though our record is still not so damaged or ugly or whatever word you want to put to it. We have a 10-13 record at the moment. But it just feels like we haven't got into the flow. We haven't figured it out. Just last game, just starting four except Curry. So Looney, Draymond, Clay, and Wiggins, they combined for like 12 points, which is horrible. If you're starting four, excluding Curry, because Curry had like 26 points. But if they all have 12 points in between four heads, something's definitely wrong. But yeah, something's definitely wrong. Um, I don't know if a trade, it's pretty annoying because I don't know if a trade has to happen or if we should give it a bit more time. But if you ask me, I would like Wiggins up and out of there. Um, I mean I like Wiggins, but he hasn't been showing much. I don't know what it is like. He hasn't been doing much at all. Clay either. I mean I'm not. I'm gonna keep it fair. I think Clay also gotta pick it up, but I expect Clay to get better as the season goes. I feel like Wiggins is too shy. He's too nonchalant on the court. Um, I feel like he doesn't really go for the ball, or go for like he's not out. I wouldn't say, I don't know if I should use the word outgoing, but he's not as hungry as he once was, and that affects us because then it's like he's ending games with 3 points, 9 points, 12 points, and you as the second or third option scoring wise alongside Curry, you should have way more points. So it's pretty annoying. And yeah, so now Draymond is suspended without a date to come back. And we play the Clippers later, if I'm not mistaken. We play the Clippers. So now our starting five is looking different. We have a negative record. We're under 500 by 3 games. Potentially could be 4 games, depending on if we win or not later. But it's just a lot. And then it's Clay's contract year, so people debating if Clay's gonna be a Warrior at the end of the season or not. If you ask me, I think he is, but I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself because anything is literally possible the way it's looking. I'm not panicking though because it's still super early on, but it's looking really rough for us. It's looking really rough. I just hope that we figure something out. And yeah, I mean Steve Kerr also, like, he has questionable moments. It's just a lot. It's a lot. But shout out Kaminga, shout out Moody, shout out Brian, Pods, our backup um, point guard. The young guys, the bench is really holding it down. Shout out Savage. Shout out all them guys. They really holding it down. I mean, they had 80 points the last game against the Suns. Was it the Suns? Yeah, the Suns. So they got it figured out. It's just more so the starting five. And but yeah, I don't think Draymond is coming back this year specifically. I mean, it's only a couple days left for this year. Especially since they didn't put a specific time on a suspension. It might be 10 plus games. And we know that there's not a game each and every single day. It's kind of spaced out between 2-3 days sometimes, or even a day. So there's gonna probably be early January. Hopefully, as a Ravens fan, I'm over here thinking about the Ravens. As a Warriors fan, I would like for him to come. Probably after 5-6 games. I'm not mad that he got suspended this time because I do feel like that hit on Nurkic was a bit unnecessary. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like the league is out for him, but this time he kind of brought it to himself, and I can only imagine how much it bothers Steph, how much it bothers the team, the fans. I mean, so it's a lot. But it's so much going on in the NBA, and then you got the refs. I feel like refs are just like giving techs out, like technical fouls out, like there's nothing, kicking plays out the game like it's nothing. It's been a lot so far. It's so early on into the season, but the NBA is definitely about to start getting even more interesting. I mean, Christmas games, it's probably like a week and a half away. And then after Christmas time, it gets even more and more serious. Um, can't wait for the All Star break. It's just so much left of the NBA. It's a lot of teams are in certain standings that we didn't expect them to be, but just because they're there now doesn't mean that they might be there for the whole rest of the season. Of course, things change, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I named a couple of events of things that's been happening in the NBA. Ja Morant soon come back. I think in about like 2, 3, 4 games after that long suspension as well. So it's so much to look forward to. So much that could happen. So much things that's been happening. I mean, nobody could have really expected it. I guess you could say. And yeah, that's really it for this podcast episode. It's episode 90. Um, Make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, and you share. Go check the description for my TikTok and Instagram. But yeah, make sure you subscribe. Let's try to hit 90 subscribers, so then we 10 away from 100 and so on. Make sure you tune into the video, share it with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend, and yeah, it's your boy Ssalcita, and I'm out.